I've been playing WRC since the game released, and I've clocked up nearly 1,500 hours on the game. So today, I'm going to give you 5 bits of advice that I have learned over my time playing this game, and what you can do to make yourself faster, if not better. And we're going to do it sort of in the old way, so the OG members of the channel, you might like this video. My first bit of advice for you is those assists, turn them off. Problem is with assists, they will build bad habits over the long run. So I'm not saying turn them off completely dead straight away. Take your time, lower them down in increments, one by one, so you get to the point where you feel comfortable with whatever car you're driving. It might take a while, and if you've got on controller, you might need a few settings on there just to help you get the car around the track. But if you could go without assist completely, you will be far better off by driving with no assist. Trust me, I've tested it. Yes, ABS will make sure you don't lock up. Builds a bad technique. And once you've built that bad technique and the muscle memory is there, it's going to be so hard to change it. So it's super crucial you try to not develop bad techniques in order to stunt your growth as you progress in sim rallying. Some of the big ones I would really recommend turning off are your ABS, your off-throttle braking, your throttle limiter, your traction control, and your stability control. Now, assists do have their place, but try to turn them off. You will thank me later. Now, the second bit of advice I've got for you is make sure when you're choosing your camera view, you choose one that suits you best. For me, it varies. Some days I prefer bonnet view, some days I prefer dash view. It just depends on what mood I'm in personally. But choosing a camera view and getting used to that camera view and aligning certain points of the car up with the outside of the track, just so you know where the car is at all times, will benefit you in the long run, because if you can get comfortable with one camera instead of switching from camera to camera, you'll be faster because you'll be knowing what to expect. Now, sometimes I change to bonnet view on locations, say your Mexicos and your Portugals, where there's a lot of elevation in the stage. It may be because you're not being able to see when you're going over bumps and jumps, but try and stick to one camera. Don't try and confuse things like me and changing the cameras depending on what mood you're in. Keep it simple, one camera, preferably cockpit view. Third bit of advice I have for you is setups are good. They do have the potential to elevate your driving. Now, this is not to say they will make you quicker, they'll just make the car more controllable. And if you know what the car's doing, you will be faster. Tuning can take a while, and setting something up wrong for a certain stage or location can be a massive difference in finishing the stage, crashing, losing time. You get where I'm coming from. Now, if you don't want to mess around with setups, the default setup is surprisingly very, very strong option. Setting up isn't always a must. You can very well crack on with the default setup and still set super fast times. Just take it easy on the setups, because sometimes the car will react in a certain way and you will think it's setup based if you change the part of the setup and get it right. But if you get the part of the setup and it's wrong, you're just going to make that issue worse. You're going to get more frustrated, and in the end you'll probably just give up on that stage, that location. Always set your car up to how you want it set up, and if it's not working, just go for default. Don't stress yourself out. Stressing yourself out when you've got to deal with all these obstacles and listening to your co-driver, sometimes it is just best default setup and drive. My fourth bit of advice, and this for me is a big one, your OSD can be very, very much of a distract. The less things you see on your screen, the better. Now, for me, if I have the stages on, or the stage link, or whatever it's called, if I have that on and I see a red stage, subconsciously I'm going to push harder, which then bumps the risk up of an accident, mishearing a call, or hell can be unleashed just from trying to push harder. Take me in Italy, for instance, in this video, where I crashed into this super massive rock, ended my whole club. So get rid of as much as you can. Now, my fifth bit of advice, in the world of sim racing, sim rallying, practice does make perfect. But there is a caveat to that. Practicing a stage hundreds of times in time trial, yes, you'll end up knowing the stage turn for turn. But the big problem I find with that is because now you know what's coming up, you may find yourself wanting to push harder, brake later, trying to carry more speed, as your muscle memory just reacts to what you've done previously. And again, you may have built a bad habit going into a certain corner. And another thing you might face, in time trial, things are set perfect conditions. Track's perfect, the tyres are perfect, everything is how you want it to be. In an ideal world, if you was going out in the real world, you'd want it like this. But the issue is when you get into online modes, sort of your clubs, your multiplayer, the track deck comes into account and can change massively how you have to approach these corners. In time trial, you might be able to turn in earlier, brake later, carry more speed. But if you're on a max track deck and the track is very, very rutty and it's been dug out, if you're on gravel, there'll be 2 clear channels. You want to try and stay in them channels. So going into the advice, what I would probably do, what I personally do, is go into solo mode, set a championship, and run the events you want to run. Set the track deck to max. Now go out, default setup, run those stages, get used to driving that car on a default setup at that location at max track deck. And what this will do, it will not only push you to learn the track faster, pass faster, when's best to brake, when's best to turn, when's best to slow, drift, all of the above. But you will find you'll get more out of yourself a lot quicker and push yourself further a lot faster. But my mentality behind this is driving in the worst conditions and being fast will naturally translate over to when you're driving in a more perfect, controlled situation. Those were my 5 best little bits of advice that I could come up with my nearly 1,500 hours on this game. Now you could choose to use them or adapt them, but these are basically what I've learned over my whole time playing this game. Now, hands up, not the fastest, still got plenty to learn, but within rally, confidence is a big thing, even in a virtual world. If you're not confident, you'll naturally be slower. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord down below so you can join up with like-minded individuals. And until the next time, I'll see you very, very soon.